This is a DTX Connect exclusive.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to DTX Connect. I am Womack, and it's a wrap. 2024 Grammys are done. All the madness is settled down. Killer Mike has won his 3 Grammys, got arrested, got released. Jay-Z went and publicly criticized the Grammys while receiving an award. And the Grammy media team is going to act like nothing happened. Like they did not send out a tweet saying somebody won an award when they didn't. Good job, Grammys. Nah, but the Grammys were cool, madness and all. I had a good time watching it. I had a good time watching people's different reactions to the things that happened. And as I was going through my day, talking with people, friends, family about the events that took place, there were a couple things that stood out to me. One thing that I noticed amongst people is there seems to be a huge amount of Taylor fatigue. At least amongst my friends. And my friend group ranges from people who sing in bars in Nashville to people who rap on stages. But there seems to be a overlying consensus that Taylor Swift needs to go away for a little bit. And it got me thinking, like, what is the reason for this Taylor fatigue? Because I have it too. I'm not going to lie to you. So I started asking people kind of what were the things that annoyed them about her or made them feel like, you know, they could do without seeing her pop up on another award show. And I feel like some of them were valid reasons, and then I feel like some of them just absolutely weren't. But I thought it'd be fun to go through a couple of them and see exactly what you guys think because, you know, as far as my music commentary, I love going through these conversations. Why do artists work? Why don't they work? Why do people get tired of artists? I think these are all valid things to talk about in the music industry, especially when somebody is on such a big run the way that Taylor Swift is. It's important to kind of just, you know, reflect and see exactly why we like this person. I mean, if she's going to win 4 Album of the Year awards at the fucking Grammys, we need to know why, because that shit is crazy. Like, I don't think people understand how crazy that is. You know what? Let's start there, okay? The reason Jay-Z even had an issue with that, because he clearly had an issue with that whenever he made that statement at the end of the night, because they got up and walked out after he got done with that speech. I think the reason that he has an issue with that is because when you look at the people who have 3 Album of the Year Grammy Awards, they're the likes of Frank Sinatra, Stevie Wonder. Hell, I don't even think Michael Jackson's in that category. I don't think Prince is in that category. And she has 4. She's beating them. You can't tell me there are 4 Taylor Swift albums that beat her contemporaries or that she's done any level of work as far as albums are concerned that trump what Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Frank Sinatra, Celine Dion, motherfucking Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. I mean, come on, fam. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I get her fan base. Her fan base is clearly what does it. The money behind Taylor is clearly what does it. But it's not resonating with me on the music part. And the point that I got to make here, that I got to make sure everybody understands before I leave this point of the 4 Album of the Year Grammys, is when you're a music lover, right? Not a Taylor lover, not a Beyonce lover, not a Jay-Z lover, not a fucking, I don't know, J-Lo lover. Like, J-Lo is crazy. I shouldn't have said J-Lo. When you're not just a fan of an artist, but you're a fan of music, you listen to Paramore, you'll turn on some Beyonce, you'll go listen to some Toby Keith, rest in peace. It is very hard to wrap your head around this woman's albums out competing Off the Wall, Bad, Thriller. Like, it don't make sense. And I know people are going to be like, was it a different time? Michael Jackson was going up against different competition. Yeah, he was. And he was still fucking Michael Jackson. Like, this shit doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I can't process it because I'm a music fan. I feel like whenever you look at music as a whole, that it should reflect the people who listen to it. It should reflect the diversity and the ability to reach out to other demographics. I feel like whenever you're talking about an award like Album of the Year, it's got to be more than the dollars behind the artist. And I feel like Taylor Swift is one of those people who just has so much money and so much momentum behind her. They're going to give her the fucking award, which is why Beyonce has 32 or 35 fucking Grammys, because they will give her every other consolation prize except the top dog award at the end of the night. That's just how that's been, right? I mean, you got to think, she got beat out by Harry Styles. She got beat out by Taylor Swift. She got beat out by Adele.
And the winner is Morning Phase, Beck.
Producer Beck Hansen.
Good job, Grammys. It's crazy. I'm not saying Beyonce deserved all of them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying for somebody to get 4 is crazy. And I think you need to process that as a music lover, that nobody else has done this. And this girl, if you go listen to her music, it's not there for me. I understand why people like her. Don't get that twisted. I get why people like her. It's just not there for me. So I'll just go ahead and say it, because I'm sure you're probably asking if I don't think she should have won it, who should have won it. I think SZA should have won for SOS. Snooze was everywhere. It was just one of those records that related to more people in my mind. I mean, whenever you talk about black, white, Spanish, male, female, old, young, everybody listened to this record. I couldn't find anybody around me who didn't listen to this record.
I'll testify for you.
I'll do that 3-4 times again. I'll testify for you.
I told that lie I'd kill that. I do what all of them around you scared to do. I'm not.
As long as you're juggling out here for me, I got it. Always feeling open at your eyes.
Long as you're dreaming about me, ain't no problem.
I don't want nobody just with you right now.
To the truth, I look better under you. I can't lose.
When I'm with you.
How can I snooze and miss the moment? You're just too important.
Nobody do body like you do. You do.
Like it was one of those albums that I feel like this was SZA's time. She should have won that fucking award, and I don't know why she didn't, but I mean, that was just one of many reasons why people have a little bit of Taylor fatigue. Another reason, of course, is the, how should I say this? How culture adapts to her. This is not her fault, by the way. When Taylor goes out to watch a Chiefs game and she swag surfs, it is not her fault that New York Times decides to write an article about the new phenomenon behind swag surfing, right? It is not a Taylor Swift issue. But as a person who has gone to many a homecomings, whether they be HBCU or otherwise, doing swag surfing and looking at other people around us like, I wish these niggas would stop. It is annoying to see. I can't lie. Like, it's annoying. Like, I don't want to see her bullshit swag surf and get TV time for it in the middle of a fucking game. I'm sorry. This is my own rant now. I'm probably going to just give you all the reasons why I can't stand Taylor Swift. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, bro, it's just the culture that surrounds her, and it's not something that she can really help. It's just something that the media decides to do. She's got such a machine behind her, of course, making any kind of content behind Taylor Swift. Even this fucking video. Like, I don't know if this is gonna do well or not. I probably am gonna get a whole bunch of fucking hate messages in the bottom of anything, but I mean, it's just one of those things. She's one of those people you can't help but talk about, whether it be good or bad. And a lot of the shit that I see outside of music, it's just cringe to me. The swag surf shit, then it transferred over into fucking Travis. What the fuck is that shit? Like, who was it that wrote that fucking article? Hold on. I think it was the New York Times again that wrote an article about Travis Kelce, men all over the United States asking to get the Travis.
You might not be able to get his girlfriend, but you can get his haircut.
Nigga, ain't nobody going in asking to get the motherfucking Travis. They're asking to get a ball fade, a mid fade, a mid drop fade, whatever the fuck he get. It's crazy to me, though, that this culture already exists and people act like they rediscovered some shit or they found some shit. Even Travis was like, why did y'all do that? I go in and ask for this haircut because it existed already. Like,
it's absolutely ridiculous. And to do it on February 1st to throw me to the wolves like that was messed up, man. I don't want anything to do with that one, man. I got a good fade if you need it, though. It's a 2 on top, a nice high to mid fade with the taper in the back. But I didn't invent that. I just asked for it.
What are y'all fucking talking about? I don't know, fam. I know it's something that's petty and is little, but it's like when you've done something for so long and people even give you shit about it, and then it's acceptable because other people do it, you just get that side eye. It's like, come on, fam. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Whether it be swag surfing in the stadium or having a drop fade, it's just annoying seeing other people do things and then get some weird credit for it as if they invented this part of the culture. Like, they didn't. And just because FLY gives her permission to possibly remix an album, of course they would. Who the fuck wouldn't? It's Taylor Swift. But at the same time, it's just like that doesn't negate the fact of this portion of the culture being co-opted by the media, not by Taylor, not by Travis, by the media to make it seem as if they are creating something or recreating something. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know how else to explain this. It's fucking weird, bro. Again, this is not something that's her fault. It's something that the media does around her. But at the same time, it's like, you can understand how people get tired. I would hope. I would hope. No? Okay, well, fuck it. Sorry, guys, I got to jump in here with a little voiceover, but I forgot to mention that the Swifties attacked Travis's ex because she liked an Instagram post. So just add that to the list of things. Look, I know she can't control all of her fans, but the least you can do is call off the dogs. You know they listen to you. You know they're going to follow and do what you say. Tell them to chill out, but she didn't. So there's that. Another reason I saw people saying they were getting tired of Taylor was that she was fake. And people brought up her accent, like at the beginning of her career, going from country music to pop music, her whole accent changing. This isn't a valid reason to me. I've given you some reasons that I think are valid. I'm going to give you some reasons I think aren't valid for people who say that they can't stand Taylor Swift. Thinking that she changed is not a valid reason because she did change. And that's okay, right? Like, I'll give you an example. I'll put a clip in right here of Cam Newton talking to two different people, and you're going to see him talk two different ways.
Bank of America is where, I did other businesses. So when I'm looking at these accounts, I'm also tracking like, why are we spending $3,000 here and somebody has to report for that? So I'm in essence managing my own self. And for me, I was always being able to track, okay, what's spending, how is it being spent, and what's coming in. So I have a better understanding of my whole overall business. As Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a
businessman. So why you never play for the Falcons, bro? Like,
I
we
thought
want you, bro. Like,
never
everybody want this shit, bro. Like,
the main reason why I never played for Atlanta, Arthur ain't never really fought with me, you feel me? And you know the sad thing about Arthur Blank. Arthur ain't fought with you. Listen, Arthur stayed literally right there. That's crazy, right? Like, his house is literally...
You know what it is, man. Nigga, man, shout out to Vic, but Vic fucked that shit up for the nigga.
They can't say nothing about me, cause I ain't fighting nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just bringing love. I just want to bring people together. Okay.
You see that? In one clip, he's very comfortable talking with Scrappy the way he talks because he's from Atlanta and he talks that way. The other clip, not so much because he's got his professional voice on. This is code switching at its finest, bro. And whether people want to believe it or not, white people code switch sometimes when they try to fit into different places. They do it. They just might not have a word for it because they don't do it as much as we do. We do it pretty much as a survival tactic in a lot of situations, and they do it to fit in a lot of the time. And I think she's from like Pennsylvania and then moved to Tennessee. I tell you what, like, I'm from Texas. We already got, like, if I wanted to put my Southern draw on, I could do it. And then when you go to Tennessee, you drink some whiskey, you're in the studio. I've never said cut a record in my entire life. Never said it. I've been in studio sessions my whole life. I've never seen somebody say, we finna cut a record until I got to Nashville. And now everybody's cutting records. And so when you get out there, you start talking the lingo, you change the way you talk a little bit because it's how people talk. So instead of saying, hey, did you finish that track? Did you track out that beat? You start kind of talking the lingo of the people around you. You start sounding a certain way whenever you do that. even in these videos, like I try my best to give y'all the best like reporter version of myself usually in the beginning, but by the time I get halfway through a cup of whiskey, you finna see Dallas, Texas come out, and that shit is just uncontrollable at certain points. But I don't feel like she changed enough. If you go look at those videos of her talking country, she ain't really talking country. She's just not talking as fucking LA. You know what I mean? And you spend 10, 15 years in LA, you're going to talk like motherfuckers. That's just what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't feel like that's a valid reason to hate on her. I don't. It's not that big of a deal. And her accent hasn't changed that much. Her singing accent has changed a ton, but that's because she was doing country music. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who sing country don't talk how they sing. Garth Brooks doesn't talk like he sings. You feel me? So, I mean, it's not a big deal to me. The final thing that I think people don't understand about Taylor, which is what also kind of gives them a little bit of Taylor fatigue, is they don't understand the fan base. And I would admit, for a long time, I didn't understand her fan base. It drove me crazy. I was just like, who the fuck listens to this music and is just like, yes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who listens to it and is like, oh my God, fucking replay that shit. And I started to realize she is very much like Drake in the way that she writes music. And when I say that, I mean, she writes like Instagram caption songs all the time. Like, the majority of her songs are like Instagram caption songs, which makes sense when you look at her fan base. Her fan base are very young girls to, sometimes up to middle-aged women, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like the type of content that she creates is for that specific demographic. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, right? Like, when we think about music, that's often a demographic that's kind of left out. Think about rap, think about pop, think about punk rock, think about rock, think about, like, there's so many genres that just leave out young white women. A fucking lot. And she just kind of dominated it. And I was really trying to figure out exactly why did she take this demographic over when there are so many other people? I mean, like, even like, look, Harry Styles came and kind of took up some of that real estate. But like, I'm just trying to think, like, you had the Jonas Brothers before, you had groups of people who kind of ran that circuit, but like, what made her so viable in that space? And I have a weird theory, and it may sound crazy to some people, but I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all anyway, because I could be dead ass wrong. But if I'm wrong, y'all let me know. I think it's a valid theory, though. Back in the day, we used to have TV shows or movies that related to these type of people, right? We had the Pretty Woman movies. We had the Mean Girls movies. We had the young teen coming of age stories, or the young woman becoming a woman stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, the late 20-something going into her love affair situations, like that type of situation, right? Those movies are few and far between if they exist at all anymore, right? And the only place that I have even found content that is close to that are in books and in Taylor Swift songs. I'll give you an example. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over some lyrics real quick from Vigilante shit. All right? And we'll see how this goes. And you let me know if this reminds you of some like coming of age movies, kind of like Clueless. We throw Pretty Woman in there. Throw in Mean Girls, of course. Just remember all of those mid-2000 movies that came out, even late 90s movies where girls could relate to these different type of characters. They were a strong feminine main character that kind of ran their world. Like, that doesn't exist in content that's made a whole lot today. It just doesn't. There's not a space for them, and it kind of should change. I think those movies should come back, honestly. If you're asking me, I feel like those coming of age stories were really like a big deal for us. I mean, even shit like American Pie, even though it was a funny movie, like it was a dirty comedy, but it was some shit some teenagers could relate to, as crazy as it was. You get what I'm saying? That shit just really doesn't exist anymore. Now people are just looking at TikTok, listening to music, and fucking arguing on the internet. But we're going to go ahead and get into these lyrics real quick, and y'all tell me what you think about them. Draw the cat eye, sharp enough to kill a man. You did some bad things. Sometimes I wonder which one will be your last lie. They say looks can kill, and I might try. I don't dress for men. Lately, I've been dressing for revenge. I don't start it, but I can tell you how it ends. Don't get sad, get even. So on the weekends, I don't dress for friends. Lately, I've been dressing for revenge. Let's keep going. Ladies always rise above. Ladies know what people want. Someone sweet and kind and fun. The lady simply had enough. While he was doing lines and crossing all of mine, someone told his white-collar crimes to the FBI. And I don't dress for villains or for innocents. I'm on my vigilante shit again. I don't even know what that means. I'm on my vigilante shit again. I guess she's running around telling all people. But basically, it's just like an empowerment song. Like motherfucker, you tried me, and I'm getting my licks back. It's a lick back song. That's exactly what that is. And it's a bunch of them. A bunch of her records are that. And it's just, I get it. I understand the fan base. I understand it. And I think that's where people get lost of like, who the fuck is going to these shows? Who are the people sitting outside of these concerts? You listen to the songs. Listen to the songs. This is the only thing I can tell people. If you don't understand Taylor Swift, listen to the songs and you will know exactly who she's talking to. I won't say that that's going to make me like her anymore. I'm not going to say it's not going to make her less annoying because she's annoying a lot of the time. But listen to the music. If you haven't, give it a shot. You might like it. You might end up being a Swiftie. I'm definitely not. But yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I'm not the biggest fan of Taylor Swift, but I understand why people are. I do find a lot of the things that media does around her annoying. Not that she controls that, okay? I'm not blaming Taylor Swift for what the media does, but media does tend to put her in a light where she is reinventing something that already existed, and it's fucking weird and it's fucking annoying, and I will say that. Other than that, y'all let me know. Hopefully I don't get killed too bad in these comments. Yeah, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment if you think I'm tripping, leave a comment if you agree. Again, I'm not blaming Taylor for any of this shit. I'm just saying we're getting kind of tired of it. That's kind of what I've gathered. But anyways, y'all, I am Womack. This is DTX Connect. Now I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
This is a DTX Connect exclusive.